this, you will be getting a survey for the class. I will put in especially after, you get it after, especially after you take the final, you'll get the survey, and you'll know from the final if it included all of everything versus just from chapter 6 through, I think it's 11. So I would urge you to do that. Alright, so with that being said, I gotta put this. Okay, well, got plenty to do. So what I am gonna do, like I said in the review, my review is covering everything. So that way, hopefully, it'll give you some insight, because the good news, if there's any good news in this, good news is a lot of the stuff that is in chapter 1 through 5 is fundamental. So it's not like
small points.
Yeah, it's not like they challenging like a theory, if you will. They're not asking you a quantum physics equation. They actually, in the first 5 chapters, actually real simple stuff. People, procedures, those things. It's not what's the third step in the preliminary research report. It's not asking stuff like that.
That's like high school still.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hopefully, these 2 weeks, you'll be able to kind of keep prepared, brush up, see where you're slacking, look at your old results. Can you see your old test results?
We can see the grade.
You can't see the question?
I don't think we can, once we submit it.
I'll have to look into that.
I could be wrong, but I don't think it allows us to be accessed.
Okay. I need to know that, one way or the other, I need to know that, because you should be able to, then how can you properly prepare if you can't review what you got wrong?
Okay, I'm just gonna log in and see if I can,
Yeah,
since it's different for years.
because I had that question last, but then we wasn't under this new system. So,
soon, like 2 days ago.
I hadn't checked it, I hadn't checked this email in a minute.
Let's go, come on.
About that, wrong, about 3 days actually, but I'll take care of it.
Know how to do this.
Set a computer. So,
Alright, so, since last week, I believe it is, or was, we completed all the chapter work. So, I think I mentioned to you all, doing a review, a final review. So these last 2 weeks, really, that's all it's gonna be, review.
Did you find out about final exam?
No, I didn't get no response, but I did go and try to take the final exam, and it looks like it's covering all the chapters.
All of them?
Doing all chapters too.
1 through, 11, yeah, that's what I see.
Is
So-
there practice final exam?
Yeah, final
Is
exam.
there, we got a practice final exam?
There used to be one, there is no longer one, but what I try to do these last 2 weeks is do a review
Okay.
that covers all the chapters.
How many questions was it? When you
Say
said-
again?
How many questions was it?
It's
when
gonna be
you did?
50 on the whole entire final exam, and you have an hour to take the 50 questions. Yeah. Let's see. And also in the meantime, within these 2 weeks, I'm also see if I can, or if someone in this room has already figured out how you can, after you've taken your exams, I believe it's exams, you should be able to see what questions you got wrong from that exam. Yeah, he said, yeah, I wish. But, I mean, this is the new system, so I don't know, it's just learning for me right now, but there used to be a way before all the exams were coupled together, chapter exams, like say you had exam 1, it covered chapters 1 and 2. Well, in the last, and I know this doesn't help you all at all, probably any, but each individual test that the students took, they were able to see and go back and get all the questions that they got wrong and study those. So I don't know how that works for this new system, but I am going to try my best to do some research from our support team and see if they can tell me something about your exams. Is there any way you can go back and look at your exams and see what questions you got wrong, or just all the questions, and just see which ones were wrong out of those? I'm not making any promises because I don't know what they're doing with this part of it. So, all right.
We're taking the 10th,
Sir,
we're taking the 10th.
on the 10th, yep, that's that Saturday. I think the 10th is, May 10th is a Saturday.
It's 3 weeks.
that's the last possible day. Take it if you run, excuse me, if you run into any problems, prior to that, or you foresee that you can't be here Saturday, that's fine, because you can still take it online. You don't have to come to class. That's not mandatory, that's optional, because this is a hybrid class. You can take it, but you gotta have all the stuff. You have the lockdown browser, you can't have ran into no problems with it, so, you know, I always say just, if you can make it to class, just come to class and be simple as that, versus trying to figure it out and then miss it because you don't have something that you need to take it at home or through lockdown browser. That's my suggestion. So, with that being said, let's see if we can get started here. So you said May 10th, let me make sure of that. May 10th. That's what I remember it being.
I think you did make that's the last thing.
Yeah, last day of the period, yep. May 10th. 10 a.m. All right, so we got that part. Now, let's do this. Let's go. So since we're trying to cover as much information as we can, we are gonna do a Kahoots for those of you all that are familiar with Kahoot. But also, I have these little cards here, which basically cover just about all the topics in the book, as far as the first 6 chapters, 8 chapters. It's kind of spread out, but either way, between these things and the Kahoots, we should cover a good bit of material that will help familiarize you with what you've done from the beginning, and then kind of go all the way to kind of the end of the book. So that's gonna be the chapter, again, I say 11, but I think it's 11 or 12. Okay, let me get signed in here real quick, and then we'll get started. Anybody got any questions before we get started? Okay. No worries. Right here. All right. Final review. 60 questions. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. You got your device, log in. That's the pin, and it's Kahoot.it or it, and that's your pin to get logged in.
What website is this, Mr. Edwards?
Kahoot.com.
Spell it.
KAHOOT.
OOT.com. What would you click to get access to this?
We can help.
Right here, join game. Okay, you see the pen right there?
Yes.
Type that in and you'll join.
Gotta blow up on Kahoot. Had to blow up on Kahoot.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good thing. This helps you. And after we're done with this, if you have any particular questions or you wanna speak with me, I'm available after that. If not, you're free to go after we're done with this, you're free to go. And next week, we're gonna probably do exactly the same thing, but it will probably be a different set of questions. So that way you get 2 Saturdays worth of potential questions that will be on the final. So these questions are coming from the final exam. But it's 850 questions in the test bank.
I know what line we take it out.
That's the same as the midterm.
What do you do next?
Oh, he's waiting to results.
It's
Okay,
half-
now you're just
half
waiting
the
for him to
midterm,
start it.
Half of the new
Okay.
stuff.
That's all. We're just
You
waiting.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at this and I'm it's for me, I see true and false in there. I didn't see any lab stuff either, but
You ready to fill your own estimate?
No.
All multiple choice.
multiple choice is true and false is all I've seen. So just be patient on that, we'll be, let me see how many we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, ma'am.
I need help getting there.
Please.
Complete. Right there, that it. Yep. There you go. Yeah, type it. Yep. Anybody else? Say again, help? Okay. Yes. That's one. Yeah, you should have that screen like that. Yep, yep. I'm just waiting for everybody to get logged in, so we can get started. You have the right screen. If you see a barn, a red barn, you should see a kind of a spring setting, kind of like that up there. It's just not started yet. Yep, yep. Because we haven't started yet. Just waiting for everybody else.
They do this every week, you know, so.
You do?
Yeah.
Every week?
Yeah, every week.
Okay. How's that go? Okay.
We get, he could give extra, extra credit.
Okay.
Also,
I don't. See, I'm part-time here. But I've been here for a while, so I know some people, but I don't come but on Saturday.
I'm taking hardware and install.
You got the stuff in there?
Just the first, second, and third, you get like extra credit.
Okay, that's cool.
10 points for first, 5 points for second.
Oh, so I see at the end.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
10, you get the top 3.
Yeah.
Free to go.
What I did one year
You already
was,
got the app in here.
you got it on the phone, that's good. What I did one year was the person came in first, I gave a 2-hour DJ, wherever, but it had to be on campus, so, you know, I can't do that. Associated with this outside of campus, but, you know, a little something, but that went over pretty good, everybody enjoyed those 2 hours of music, just to chill out, whatever. I think we got 14 people in here, and I think 13 have navigated, so we're gonna go ahead and, but what we'll do before that is we'll ask some questions, so, besides that, Cahoots. So anybody that's logged in here know what this is right here? Can you see this?
Unicode.
Yeah, what is it? Unicode. Anybody? Nobody. Alright, next. Web 3. Anybody know anything about Web 3.0? Alright? And then anybody know about URL?
Universal resource locator.
Okay, what is it?
It- It's the location of the document.
Location is a uniform resource locator, so it's basically where the resource is located.
Address.
That's the easiest way, yeah, address, exactly. Device driver,
Software that the device needs to run.
yeah, you were right on it. The device driver basically tells the device the instructions. That's really all it does.
Communicates.
It communicates whatever it is, like your printer has a device driver. Your mouse, your keyboard, all these different peripherals and devices have a device driver on them. And so that gives that thing instructions and information. So the best example for a device driver would be a printer driver. So not all printers are the same. So you gotta have the right device driver for that printer in order for your computer to communicate with that particular printer. Why do I say that? Because some printers can print odd pages, some printers can print on both sides of a page. All this is included in the device driver for that printer. If you don't have it or you got the wrong device driver, it won't communicate properly with that printer. So you won't be able to get the full functionality from that printer if you don't have the correct device driver. And that's any device driver. All right? How about this one? CSS. Think about web pages.
Cascading style sheets.
Cascading style sheets. Why is that? What is that for?
Used for specifying the presentation and styling of a document written in a markup language such as HTML or XML.
Right. So it puts it all in the same. You don't want web pages to have different stuff all over the place for the same information. So on one page, this is what it helps with. On one page, where you go to find the printing, it should be in the same place if they're utilizing this versus having to print or to log out or whatever, finding it all over the place. You want to have it kind of uniform. This is what that helps with. Duplex printing, anybody?
Written on both sides.
Printing on both sides, very good. BitTorrent. Anybody know what a BitTorrent is?
It's software for torrenting.
Software, exactly right. And so what BitTorrent does is it grabs a bunch of information from a bunch of different computers, bring them all together to get the file you need at your computer. It's used a lot on pirate sites also, but any site will use a BitTorrent to gather the information needed. It's kind of like using a download. How about IDS for all you cybersecurity people? IDS. Nobody? Intrusion detection system. Why? So if somebody has penetrated your firewall and has accessed your firewall, then what this will do, the firewall won't tell you that, but the IDS system should tell you that, okay? And so that's what that's used for, intrusion detection system. It tells you, it alerts you if you're in the cybersecurity that something has infiltrated your system, okay? How about SFTP?
Secure file transfer protocol.
That's right. And so what's the difference between that and FTP?
It's not encrypted, or it's encrypted.
Yep, it's encrypted. What's a bus line?
It's how the computer sends electrical signals.
Yes, so the bus line is those colored, gold-plated, they look like pathways on your motherboard. and it's located on your motherboard, but it's connected to every piece of equipment or whatever on there, so they can, one part can communicate with another. What's a microblog? Tweet. Microblog is pretty much a tweet. How about secondary storage? What is secondary storage? What do we use it for?
Backup, files, pictures.
Secondary storage, yep. So what are we storing secondary? What, on your computer, what's considered your secondary storage?
SSD.
SSD. So what's a simple word for it? Hard drive. A hard drive, a solid state drive. You're saying SSD, solid state drive. Like that. Thumb drive. You know, anything you can store outside. So what's the other kind of storage then? Yeah, very good. All right, so we got that. What's a cold boot? Cold boot.
Start a computer for the first time.
Very good. That's exactly right. So, SMS. SMS. Anybody?
Text message.
Texting. Thank you. What's MMS?
Multimedia.
Yeah. What do we use that for? Anytime? Anything?
Pictures, video.
Media.
Yeah.
QR code.
All right. I'll give you a few more. What's a NIC? NIC. What is that?
Network interface card.
Network interface card. What is that?
It's a basic expansion slot, and lets you connect to networks.
Yeah. So if you look on the back of your computer, that blue cable has an Ethernet cable. And so that Ethernet cable goes inside the NIC, the network interface card. So that's how you, that port. So that network interface card basically has a port on it, and that's where you plug your Ethernet into that port so it can communicate on the network. So that's a NIC, that's a network interface card. All right? Got that? Just a few more here. What's the system unit? Anybody, a system unit? What is this sitting on your desk? System unit, thank you. It's just that simple. So, you know, a system unit is just what houses the hardware. What is this? A system unit. A tablet is a system unit. All those are system units. That contains all the communications and all the cards and all the wires and all the stuff that actually house in a single unit. All right, what's a GUI? A GUI.
Graphical user interface.
Yep, what is it? You're looking at it on your monitor.
Interface. Interface.
Say again? Icons, all those
Symbols.
things, yeah, that allows you. Before we had GUI, how did we communicate with a computer?
One says.
Huh? What is it? Before there was GUI, so GUI made it possible for you to just click on an icon to execute a file. Prior to that, how did we do that? A command line prompt. It was a single dot, a single screen with a flashing cursor, and you would type on that cursor a command. And that command would tell the computer instructions on what to do next, like change to the A drive, or change to the C drive, or change directories, or list the directory. You did all of that by a command prompt, okay? All right? So we go ahead and get started.
Still taking longer.
Say again.
Still taking longer.
It's taking longer.
Yeah, for me to still says your entity or nickname or on screen.
You're ready, you're just waiting for him to start it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get started. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, it shouldn't ask you anything else. Alright. If somebody wants to read it, fine. If not, then yes, sir.
The most widely used input devices are monitors, printers, and keyboards. True or false?
True or false, right.
True?
You say true?
Yes.
Alright, alright. Come on, where the thing at? Alright.
Monitor is not an input device. Printer is not an input device.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Three people got it.
Cause that's a good
Yes,
point,
my
cause
mistake.
how you read the question too will determine, true and false is notorious for that, so be careful, please be careful. But none of those are input devices, are they, are all of them? Can you input on a monitor?
No.
Printer, all those are output. The only one actually that might have thrown you off is a keyboard, and that is an input device.
That's what
What's this listed about?
You got a hybrid monitor, now got a touchscreen, but that is saying nothing about the monitor.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have a problem skipping over words.
Yeah, I mean, we all do, because that is part of reading, trying to read past and quickly read the question to get to the answer, but you gotta read the question first. All right, we'll move on to the next one. All right, employee records, including names, SSN, and related information will be stored in what type of data file? I can't hear my. Why I can't hear? Alright, so, what do we have? Oh. Yeah, y'all, everybody got that on point, so that's good. Next question. Financial budget will typically be created in what type of data file? A financial budget will typically be created in what type of data file?
Yes.
So, financial budget, why would it be created in a worksheet? What is a worksheet, what is the software that you will work within a worksheet? What is that called? Excel type file, correct, so, I think you're good on that, most of y'all got that right, so. Next question.
The type of media that uses laser technology to store data in programs is. Oh man.
Laser technology should have been your key. Because that's what they store on optical disc, laser stuff, so. See, most of you might not know what a Betamax is.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so Betamax is an older technology that kinda came out ahead of its time, but it used optical disc to put movies on. And so you could look at movies on an optical disc if you had a Betamax. But Betamax was the optical disc. That's not the only feature, that's just an example of how they use the laser technology to store movies onto a optical disc. Okay? Because you can store any information on it, in this case, it just was a movie.
So that would just be a CD?
Similar to a CD, optical disc, exactly right, thank you. Which one of the following is not considered a form of secondary storage? Very good, we're not gonna go over that too much, because
RAM.
You got it.
What does that stand for?
Random access memory.
Say that again?
Random access memory.
Random access memory.
Yeah, you need to know that, for sure, because they may ask you that.
Ah,
RAM.
nice. Which of the following are two important components of the system unit?
I think this should have said most important, but we'll see. Yep, so y'all are all on it, so that's good to know if y'all know this. All right, next question.
This hardware houses most of the electronic components that make up a computer system. Yes, system unit.
Just talk about that too.
Very good. We're gonna move on. And if anybody wants questions or have questions about it, we won't spend a whole lot of time because there's 60 of these questions, so it's probably gonna take up most of the time. But if you have a pertinent question, just pause it and just, raise your hand, whatever, we go.
True or false? Firewire ports are used to connect keyboards, mice, printers, and storage devices.
True or false? We'll keep it moving. We just doing a cahoots, Mr. Wheeler.
Which of the following won't retain data after the computer is turned off?
Okay. ROM. And DVD. Anyway, the main thing is RAM, which won't keep the information. ROM will keep the information. You can't really erase ROM anyway. You have to have specialized equipment to erase anything that ROM, that's hard coded, so. Oh,
A microcomputer is smaller, lighter, and less powerful than a notebook, and a touch-sensitive screen is called a...
very good.
The most widely used handheld computers are...
Okay. Handheld. So laptop is really, you can hold it in your hand, but I don't know for how long.
Desktop, laptop, and tablet computers and mobile devices are classified as
This should be interesting. Very interesting, very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Alright,
Antivirus programs protect computer systems from viruses or malicious programs. What type of software is this?
Is that spelled wrong?
probably is, cause I typed it in.
Okay.
It probably is. I thought nobody would notice that, but yeah.
So I wanted to pick.
So it's utilities,
I wanted to pick utilities.
okay, cause that's an antivirus program. That's what it does. It's utilities.
Background software that helps the computer manage its own internal resources is called
Background is the key.
less, should I say, Gesundheit.
Very good. All
Which of the following is a collection of programs rather than a single program?
Yeah, I might have to, those of you might have to go back and look at that. System software is not a single program, it's a bunch of programs that fall under system software. So that's what the question was alluding to. Okay?
Which part of detail system consists of the rules or guidelines for people to follow?
Very good. Rules, the rules.
Share laser printers typically support color or are more expensive and are used by a group of people.
Yes.
True or false?
So shared laser printers typically support color, are more expensive, and are used by a group of people. Correct. True or false?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, homie.
No need to discuss it. It's good.
What are the two major software types? Hey, man.
Okay, pretty good. The other one is, operating system software and utility. Those are not the two major software types.
No, they aren't. The program coordinates computer resources, provides an interface between users of the computer, and runs application.
Yeah, operating system. Device driver pertains only to pretty much the device itself. So, yes, sir.
How many questions?
How many questions?
Yeah.
We got 60.
60.
And what, just.
We don't have to
roughly
do them
20.
all. It just depends on if everybody's done and tied with these.
Thermal printers use heat elements to produce images on heat-sensitive paper and are used at ATMs and gasoline pumps.
These are coming from the final exam.
True or false?
Yeah, thermal printers are what they use at ATMs and gas stations.
Blank storage devices don't lose data or programs after the electrical power is turned off.
Okay, pretty good. Secondary storage.
The most common way to access the internet is through blank.
Boom. Keep it moving. ISP.
In the URL http www.simononline.com, what is the domain name? That's what's up.
Yeah, y'all might wanna go back and look at all the different breakdowns of the URL. Each one of them represents something or another, but the bottom line is the domain name is pretty much the name of the site. www.thatsitename.com.edu.biz, whatever. That whole thing is considered the domain name, alright? So what is the .com? Anybody, just to throw it out there, what's the .com? Nobody?
Type of site it is. Type of site it is.
It's a type of site, but they call it something, I can't think of the name of it right now, but, it's
Top level domain.
anybody, what's that?
Top level domain.
Yeah, thank you, yep.
Actually,
I know it when I hear TLD, yep. Top level domain is .com, .edu, .biz, whatever, yeah. So that's the top level domain.
A web page typically contains blank, which contains the formatting instructions for displaying the web page.
And look who showed up in green. Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah, I might wanna go back to that webpage piece in your book. And kind of just review all the stuff from the webpage's perspective. URLs, HTMLs, hyperlinks, TDLs, things like that. But just review that chapter.
True or false? Microsoft Access is an example of general purpose application software. True or false?
Oh, very good, very good. We're just doing a cahoots.
The blank compares your entry against its database and returns the result. a list of sites on that topic. Spider, Search Engine, Content Evaluator, or Wiki. Yes. True or false again? Computers require direct current DC to power their electronic components and to represent data and instructions.
Alright.
Google Chrome is an example of web blank. Browser.
True or false?
The operating system allows the user to interact with application programs and computer hardware through a user interface. Wika comes from the Hawaiian word for
You'll know if you see that again on the final. I can tell you that much.
most general purposes applications use a or n blank that displays graphic icons to represent familiar objects. Yes.
I don't think we talked about this a whole lot, but I hope you all know and can identify the general purpose applications. Anybody know the general purpose applications? Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and what's the last one? I'm sorry.
Outlook.
Outlook, no. Should be four of them. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access. Access to database. Those are the four. Please know those.
General purpose applications include all the following except.
Here's your chance to prove that you know.
Yes.
Alright, so web authoring is not a general purpose application. It's more of a specific application used for designing web specifically. That's the difference between general purpose and specific application. AutoCAD is another good example of a specified or specific application.
The electronic equivalent of a file cabinet is a blank. Now we're talking big time. True or false?
Sorry. Yeah, so company got it, yes. Say again? Yeah. Yeah, so for the false people here, HDMI replaced audio and video in one cable. So video jukebox, video recorder, that's what HDMI port actually allows for.
Digital photographs consist of thousands of dots or blank that form images. Pixels.
There you go. Very good.
Database primary keys are often used to link to tables. True, false.
Yeah. So for those of you who got false, bottom line is that's the only way the two tables can link each other is through a primary key or a unique key. That's how they're able to link to each other, okay?
The operating system is often referred to as the software environment or software blank. Oh
Yep.
man.
So a lot of times for the network people, a lot of times people ask you what platform are you working on. They're just asking you what operating system. That's all they're asking. So just understand that. You know?
Which of the following is not a function of the operating system?
There it is. That's the only thing it does not do. That's not the function of the operating system is to provide internet access. Everything else is true.
The operating system is widely used by servers on the web, mainframe computers, and very powerful personal computers. True or false? Output devices are any hardware used to provide or to create output. True or false again? Cloud printers provide printing services to users without access to the internet. Oh man.
All right. You gotta have the internet to get to the cloud.
C plus is a procedural language that's wisely used by today's programmers. Oh man, now you're getting ahead of me. True or false again? Program maintenance involves ensuring that current programs are operating error-free, efficiently, and effectively.
Ooh. No.
In addition to an internet link, users need browser software to easily display web pages. What was the correct answer?
Prior to?
Yeah, before this question. What was the answer to the previous question before this one?
Anybody? Previous answer? I'm not sure, I'm sorry.
True or false again? Functions, formulas, charts, and what-if analysis are common features of database management systems. True or false again? Many apps are written for a particular type or mobile device and won't run on other types. A blank is a program that provides modules of pre-written code.
Okay. Kind of all over the place with this one. Pseudocode is basically outlined for the program that was written. So, for y'all who answered that way, machine language is not a module of pre-written code, it's more the code written for the actual computer. So it's not really pre-written. That's the key to that one.
A compiler blank. Oh man.
So yeah, this converts the source code into machine language code. That's what a compiler does. Does anybody know what an interpreter does? It does it one thing at a time, so it can determine what the actual, so it can interpret what the actual language is to convert it to.
This type of language uses natural languages to allow humans to communicate more directly to a computer.
would just suggest you look at that computers, the languages of computers, and kind of study that a little bit. Yeah, so it's problem and constraint. I'm not a programmer, so I can't really articulate a whole lot about it, but just kind of look under the computer languages. There's a list there of all the computer languages, and it'll tell you what each one of them are responsible for.
True or false? What if Analyst is a very powerful and simple tool to test the effects of different assumptions in a spreadsheet?
Okay, not bad.
Programming is also called blank development.
Very good.
Blank programming techniques consist of top-down program design, testing the code, flowcharts, and logic structures. Yes.
Yep, structure. That's the technique.
Blank is an outline of the logic of the program that will be written. Oh man.
Venn diagram, I hope y'all know what that is. Those little circles that intersect with each other and they include whatever inside each. I call them three circles, but that's what a Venn diagram looks like.
True or false? In a network environment, the network server computer coordinates all communications between the other computers.
Very good.
A blank
Anybody know
error.
what question this is?
A blank error.
55, okay.
A blank error occurs when the programmer uses an incorrect calculation or leaves out a programming procedure, protocol. Man.
One person going
Who's the only person that got that one?
Who got it right?
Who got it right?
Logic error.
Hands raised. See who got the correct
I
answer.
knew it was between translation and logic.
Yeah, syntax and logic are the main two programming errors anyway, but, you know, but that was good. So now you know.
A standard desktop computer comes with an embedded operating system. Ouch. Aww.
What?
Is it BIOS an operating system?
Blank languages can be run on more than one kind of computer.
portable, so I didn't think about that, but I got that one wrong myself. So, so, when I was looking at the question, I said this would be a good question, so, again, one person got that one right, so, is it the same person?
No.
Okay, somebody else, okay, so, that's a little sigh of relief, I guess, for everybody else. But the bottom line is, make sure, I'm gonna make this available, by the way, I'm gonna make this available to you as a public, Kahoot, so you can go back and you can look at them and do whatever you wanna do. This one and the one I'm gonna do another one next Saturday. So the two will be available for you to look at publicly, okay? Just so you know.
Next question. Blank of the system happens after the installation of software and hardware. Damn.
Okay, yeah, testing happens after install of the software and hardware. You can't design a system after you install it, and you can't maintain it until after you install all of that. Okay, and you definitely can't implement it because it's already been implemented.
The blank approach to systems implementation is considered the riskiest.
Yeah, the blank approach to systems implementation is considered the riskiest. Very good. Direct approach. Anybody know why? It's the riskiest.
Because it's one-on-one.
Say again?
Because it's one-on-one.
Yeah, that, and plus, you know, if you're doing a direct approach to implementing, guess what? You don't have no old system referred to. You don't have nothing to feed back off of. So if something goes wrong doing a direct implementation, if something goes wrong, what are you gonna do to recover your information and your systems, or these things like that? That's why it's considered risky.
True or false? The internet and the web are the same.
Uh-oh. Yeah, they are not considered the same.
No, they ain't.
All right. So in this particular, yeah. Here we go. In third place, and this is just again for some bragging rights, if you will. But all right, Kevin, Nick, and
Laura.
Very good. Very good.
Congratulations, Laura.
Yes.
Job well done.
So we'll do it again next week, because again, hopefully this will give you some questions upon, you will see some of these questions if they show up on your final. Again, it's 850 questions in the test bank. So there's no way I can give you 850 questions. But some of these questions out of the sample that I take out, I just pick them randomly. I take them and I'll put them out here. And so between this week and next week, I'm sure you should at least see 2 to 3, maybe even 4 questions. And by the way, I told you all that I was going to let you know what it covers, since the majority of the class is here. It covers all of the chapters. Because I didn't get no feedback yet from my person that I sent the question to ask Is it gonna be, 6 through whatever the last chapter is, 12? Is it gonna be just that, or is it gonna be 1 through 12? I didn't get a reply, so I went back to the final and started looking at the final as if I was gonna take the final, and I saw some questions from chapter 1. So that answered my question, actually. So you just get studying 1 through 12. And again, the best way to do that is do your section quizzes, because those are really the test questions. Those are the final test questions. If you do your section ones and what you get wrong, study that. And between this, because I'm gonna give you this Kahoot, I'm gonna make it public. And these are a lot of the questions I take from the final exam as well. So if you got access to that and you do your section, that should give you enough study material. Yeah, you should be okay, okay? So again, next week, we'll do it again. I won't have these same questions, but we'll do something very similar to this, so that way you can get acclimated to it. I didn't see any, lab questions on the final. I did not see any. That does not mean they won't ask you a question from a lab. That just means there's no, do this like you would do a lab. I didn't see any of that. So you don't have to repeat trying to do a lab. Hope that helps. All right, so besides that, if you have any questions of me, you can hang around. I'll be around for a minute. Yes, ma'am.
How do you take the test out certification exam?
They told me that they didn't have any information that was not out there properly for them when they did that. So I'll ask the question again, but as far as the test out is concerned, they didn't give me any information. So, but I should have something additional for you. Hopefully they answer me on that, but I don't think they got, because I did see something from Blackboard saying to disregard that, because they shouldn't have put it out there to begin with. Because this is the first time we're doing the test out as a whole for this particular course. So I think after this semester, they'll probably have a better definition of what they want students to do, but they didn't give that to us. So, any other questions? Yes, ma'am?
Is the final exam already open to be taken, or does you have to wait for
What's that?
The final exam, is it open
So
already?
here's what happened. I had a student that already took the final exam. I don't know how they got to take the final exam. We were talking about that, me and my director was talking about that. And I think they changed the date, because there used to be a way where you couldn't even see the final exam until the day of, the week of final, that first day of the week of final. But I don't know how the student was able to take it, so I'll say that if you,
It allow you to do it right now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, so if it allows you to do it right now,
It says start.
I've always been told that, and then again, this is a new semester with a new, application, so if you can go in there and take it, I don't see what problem would be if it allows you to take it.
Let's go ahead and take it right now, I can take it.
So if you get to go ahead and take it now, if you wanna take it right now, you can go ahead and take it right now. Because they gotta figure out how they got that set. And right now, they got it set where you can take it. So if a student goes in and take it, what's the penalty for the student? None. Because
It's already open.
it's open.
Yeah.
So they should have the safeguard on that to have closed that. I don't know how to close it under this new thing, because I would have closed it as soon as the first student took it. I went in there and made it not available until the first week of final.
A lot of them say that, they say not available and then it won't.
That's because they have it set.
Until you get here.
Right, till you get to that time. So I'll say it again. If you run into any complications behind it, I can tell you, the answer is gonna be coming the first week of final take. So in other words, if you try to take it now and you run into some problems, that's basically on you until that first week, because I don't know what to really, how to combat that. I can't go, well, don't take it, and you see it, you take it, and then what? And you pass it, then what? Make you take it again? As long as you got what you got and need in place, you got your webcam, and you took a picture of your ID on the test, and I can see it, legible, then you pretty much completed this course. So that's your call. But then if you wanna be on the safe side, I will caution, just come in like the normal time and just take it. That's your call, but I just tell you, if you run into problems, the backup is not now, I can take it Saturday when I'm supposed to take it, if you've already taken the chance to go and take it. Not that I'm saying, I'm not giving you an excuse, I'm just telling you that if it allows you to get in there, what can I do? Besides make you take it again. And I'm not typically gonna do that for a student once they've already taken it and they satisfied all the requirements. They not moving around in the camera, they're not talking, nothing that allows me to flag their stuff. As far as I'm concerned, you can take it. Understood? Yeah, so that's it, cause I'm not, it's just too much to try to figure out how to make it not available. I've already asked the question, so anyway, take it and then, you know, like I said, on the safe side, just come in on that Saturday, ready to take it. And take it, and that's that. You know? Any other question? No? Okay, so, at this point, everybody should pretty much be caught up with most of their work. I've looked at that. If you have not, you need to come see me. Please don't wait till the last minute. All right, we are good?
Yeah, we all good, Mr. Edwards.
All right then, so you're free to go.